This weekend marked the 49th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, a Supreme Court ruling that protects a woman's choice to have an abortion. While some see this as a celebratory moment in history, others do not and took part in the 2022 March for Life yesterday on the state capitol grounds. Fox 7 Austin's Amanda Ruiz has the full story.
Yeah, this area was completely packed with people chanting and also holding signs in favor of pro-life. And there were a few people that were pro-choice that showed up. Now, these two sides are on completely different sides of the spectrum when it comes to abortion rights, but they both can come to an agreement when it comes to this might be the last year of Roe v. Wade, and it all comes down to a Supreme Court ruling.
Today marks 49 years since the Supreme Court's tragic Roe v. Wade decision.
Thousands of people marched onto Capitol grounds for Texas's annual March for Life, a rally in hopes of banning abortion completely.
Roe must go! Roe must go! Roe must go!
During the 2021 Texas legislative session, the state passed several laws to make abortions more difficult to have. For example, the state's heartbeat bill was passed into law, banning abortions after the 6-week mark, becoming the most restrictive abortion law in the nation.
It was monumental. You know about the Texas Heartbeat Act. You know that the study at the University of Texas found a 50% drop in abortions performed in Texas abortion facilities. More than 2,000 unborn babies' lives saved each month since September.
And these people taking part in the rally hope for more, including a complete abortion ban, which could be a real possibility after the state of Mississippi asked the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Right here, right now in our great state of Texas, let's set an example for the rest of the country, the rest of the world, that we will not compromise. And we will continue to fight for truth and for life.
The Center for Reproductive Rights is for Roe v. Wade, but agrees it's at risk now more than ever, adding Texas is just a preview of what will come if it is overturned, saying, quote, half of the states are likely to move to ban abortion. People would need to drive as far as 1,000 miles round trip to find abortion services. Those without the means to do so will be forced to continue their pregnancies or seek to end their pregnancies themselves.
Abortion is health care, and everyone should support health care.
The Texas Handmaids, a pro-choice organization working towards reproductive justice statewide, were just a few of the people who showed up at the rally who weren't pro-life. Organizer Stephanie Harrison says their numbers may be small here, but that isn't a true representation of the state.
We have to represent the majority of the country. And I think especially for us, with all the children that are present, it's important for them to see that hopefully they will have choices. It's a very small percentage of people, so they might show in numbers today, but I know that the real numbers will show in the booths, in the voting booths.
We can hope, and we must pray. The right to protect unborn babies from the tragedy of abortion is returned back to the states, back to Texas.
Nobody knows exactly when that Supreme Court ruling will come, but it could come as early as this spring. Reporting at the Capitol, Amanda Ruiz, Fox 7 Austin News.